So we're trying to, so we have Zoom calls several times a week now for Essential 3, and we're trying to we've been working on this business for like a year now, coming together
Yeah.
from our different places, right? So just
Right.
thought we had such a wonderful call the other day that I thought, wow, I think this is actually pretty interesting, like to share little snippets, like, I don't know, 10, 15-minute snippets of, or something of like what we're going through. Because what we realized on the last call was that we're absolutely modeling what we feel like is what we want to support businesses to do, right?
Yeah, right.
And like was to
Exactly.
get more real, more specific, more transparent. And I realized that and like, well, I think the thing that really jumped out, right, last was it Thursday morning, was that we've known a lot of these principles of how we could help improve marketing, improve businesses and stuff like for a long time, basically. But the biggest change we've had in coming together is like insisting that we actually design our business to do it the right way.
Right.
Right. Like, and seeing like the way that people do it normally is cockamamie, and that we've been brought in again and again to like say, someone says, I need a website. And then you're starting from the point of like, they think you need a website. And now you realize that they don't even have a brand, or they don't even have a strategy. And you're seeing that whole picture, and they're coming in because they need a website. And then what do, right? You have to talk them down off that ledge, and they've already gotten down the track of needing a website. Or ask, even worse, like asking for competitive bids on a website, like how much will you charge me to make a website? So then they've gone down this learning journey. Well, if you want to call it that, they've gone down this assumption journey of what they need based on what some guru said, or what an ad on Squarespace or Wix, or, I mean, those ads make me crazy. GoDaddy ads, where it's like,
Well, it's like you can be a web
website.
designer with no work, you
Well,
can
it's
have a
like
beautiful
I
website
created
that makes
like, yeah, like, well, I have this cool business making flower arrangements or whatever, and I just went on GoDaddy, and now I have a business. And it's like, it's the exact fundamental misconception that they're really empowering the misconception because they make money off of it. The
wow.
misconception
No,
is,
no, stop.
Yep.
That's an article.
Yeah.
No, they're empowering. How did you, the misconception?
The misconception because they're making money off of it. I saw this way back in like, what do you call WordPress meetups, and then I did WordCamp presentations and did a big one in Orlando in 2012. And it's like, it was all about how the theme builders, they were doing the same thing. They were saying, oh, so someone would say, I'm a restaurant, I must need a restaurant theme. So then they're 5 levels down of that's being a problem, because then they'll go to ThemeForest primarily and look for a restaurant theme. Because those people knew to search on restaurant theme, they were then being trained, maybe from their friend or whoever, say, search on restaurant theme. And then they would find 7 restaurant themes, and they would pick the one that they thought would make them look the coolest, right? But then even that theme was actually a bunch of very nicely selected stock photography and language and presentation and design of how that theme was actually implemented in that demo, none of which they were going to have, none of which. And they didn't even know that. And then they would buy the theme, install it, and it'd just be like, oh, here's a big blank gray. And then the real work begins. And now the person's made their $29 or whatever, or $89 or whatever it was. And then that person, it's a shill game. But even, right, It's even, but even the idea, but even what Squarespace does drives me crazy, because it's like, the misconception is that the website is your business. The website is a representation of your business. It's the difference. I always think it's like the difference between like dating a sort of good-looking person, and you ask them out on one date because they're cute, and then like they have nothing to say. They don't know who they are. They don't know who they're for. They don't know what their life is about, and they're so boring that you almost forget they're cute because they're just so deadly boring, right? That's what happens if you don't have a business with a soul to put the website into. And that's the problem that people have. They don't know how to ensoul their business. There's actually a lot of work. It's like I was listening to a book by Darren Hardy yesterday, and it's like he's saying like all these gurus have, he's the founder of Success Magazine, by the way. He's saying all these gurus are saying that you can have it easy. You can work 2 hours a week and make $1 million. You can do, and he's like, guess what? This is all a lie. Like, you actually have to do work.
What's his name again?
Darren Hardy. Darren
Darren?
Hardy, just like it sounds,
I don't know him.
Darrenhardy. And like I was saying to a friend last night, that was someone I met last night, you know, he said, yeah, all businesses, you have to do hard work. And I said, yeah, and I think the trick is finding things that you're good at and love to do, and then the hard work is worth it. So it's like, that's a much better mindset than, you know, everyone's wanting a quick fix. And, you know, you go from quick fix to quick fix, right? Searching for the grail and then wondering why it didn't pay off. And it's like, as providers of a service, I think you and I and Anita, all separately doing our own stuff, have always been, and now in Essential 3, have always been people who are like, no, my job isn't to make you a website. Anybody could do that. My job is to help you with your business, right? What's the big thing I'm really trying to help you with? Like, I've made websites for hundreds of people. I see the same mistakes over and over again. Shouldn't I point that out to you? Shouldn't I mention to you that this won't actually get what you want, right? I mean, it makes me think, I'm going to let you talk, but it makes me think that, like, who are these people that are willing to do all these websites and see the clients making the same mistakes over and over again and not bother to point them out?
Right. Now I got to say something. You have a gift for the wording, just a phrase. I'm not talking about a paragraph or an article. You come out with these phrases that are like, whoa, gems that should be an article, or it should be more than an article. It could be a thrust, you know, it could be a campaign or something. But
yeah. Well, thanks. I mean, yeah, like for me, like the writing process has been like how to bring that down to earth, so that it's like we've started to do some deep writing that's been a lot of work, right? Well, but it starts to pin it down, and then there's more and more and more and more, but at least we start to pin it down. The part that is good to know is that we've all gotten sucked in. The connection with what I was talking about is that we've all tried to respond to what the client said they needed. The problem is they don't, I mean, this is an academic sounding way to say it, but they don't have the mental models to understand the domain well enough to be the person who should be directing those level of decisions. And they should have the level, I have a business, I want more clients, I want more business, or hopefully I want more satisfying business, I want more impactful business, right? We're trying to go that, not just make more money.
Right.
And then that's where a marketing consultant comes in, but they don't think marketing consultant. They would think that's maybe too academic or too abstract. So then they think, I need a website. My brother-in-law told me I need SEO. Can you SEO my site? And then we come in and somebody already said, my brother-in-law knows web and he wants me to find someone to SEO the site. Now you're already lost in the weeds. The thing that I really feel strongly in this business design process, or same with other businesses I would like to design, is that you keep it very pure. The design of the business is a very deliberate, and this is good for our clients too. The design of the business is a very deliberate process, separate from your automatic reactions, separate from your necessarily initial instincts, maybe sometimes separate. It's yes, there's intuition, but there's planning, there's observation, and the design of the business benefits from all this experience, right? The reactive business is one. This is a good model too, because the reactive plumbing supply company is going to be same as the reactive marketing company. Everyone's running at you and you just take the first people that come through the door and then you run around trying to help them as best you can. You're an utter victim to their lack of understanding. Let's say, I don't know anything about it, but let's just say copper pipe is more, but ultimately it saves you lots of money, but everyone wants the plastic pipe because it's cheaper on the front, even though it wears out. I don't know, right? I'm making that up. But it's like, it's the same thing, but it's just, well, everyone's running through the door and you don't even realize that there's a market of people that would be happy to buy the copper pipe if only you had the time to explain it to them why it was better. So then you are reactive business. And if you are deliberate business, you decide who you want the clients to be. You decide how you want to help them because you are the expert in the area. You should set the frame for what is useful. Of course, you need to understand them, but you set the frame for what is useful. You're not a victim to their frame because then everyone's taken down to the bottom.
Right.
Right.
So is it a reactive business versus a deliberate business, or a reactive business versus a proactive business? Reactive versus proactive.
Yeah, I like deliberate.
I think deliberate business and proactive are essentially synonymous.
Well, I like to say deliberate because it implies the planning process and the thought process. It implies, I like deliberate.
Exactly.
But I won't have anything in my thing. So that's the point about this deliberate business, is that idea is that you have to maintain the separation. Well, yeah, the separation between, like, you have to be true to that business. We're the ones deciding what the business model is, right? And all the details. But that's why I worked so hard to write down all of those precepts, beliefs, assumptions, rules, structures, right? Because they are our deliberate mind agreeing and deciding on the structure. And then if someone comes along and they say, oh, we just need this one quick SEO job, but it's not what we say in the structure. You have to have the discipline to say, no, that's not what our business does. I might have another business that does that kind of work on the side, but that's a different company.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I may design websites, but it's a different company. It's not Essential 3. Right. So you maintain the purity of something that doesn't allow this to happen.
So the deliberate business, well, first, we need to be a deliberate business from the get-go. So we need to model to clients where they can see this is how a deliberate business operates. And then we're steering them into operating as a deliberate business.
Yep,
So,
that's what we're doing.
okay, I'm making these precepts. So I think, what are the steps a deliberate business does? I mean, they start like, let's say they're trying to, let's say it's not a startup, so they're not creating a deliberate business from scratch. They have a problem. So within the scope of that problem, they're acting as a deliberate business.
I
just
think we
throwing it
want
out.
to I think whether it's a startup or not, we want to work with the business owner and the business founders, and we want to work with, we're not working with corporate where there's no soul of the originator, right? And we're also not where there's no one to talk to about that core soul of the business. We're also not working with a soulless business that's just, and maybe that's fine that some businesses only want to make money to feed their family. I mean, that's a noble thing.
Right.
But at some point, we don't want to do, like, we believe in business to support family and community and society. It's like, it doesn't have to be like save the whole world type of thing. But it does have to be willing to look more deeply than I want to make a profit. It has to be, we serve a mission of some kind. We serve the people, we serve ourselves with this business. We serve, it's not just maximizing profit, it's maximizing all the things we want for ourselves, our community, and impact we want in the world, right? And so inevitably, we might find some businesses that haven't thought very much about this, but they have the potential and they like this view. And we'll find other businesses that have thought a lot about this. But I think even with those people, we will help them see it more deeply. So that's why the first part of our process is the FIT process is inquiry into, like, what are you really here for? Like, what's the point of this whole thing, right? There's going to be some of that.
Like, what's your why?
Yeah, exactly. And the fit finding process that we've designed at the beginning is a lot about throwing things away, right? I just started rereading this book, Essentialism, and it's all about, where'd it go? It's a cool cover. Like, it's all about throwing out all the stuff you don't need. And so you can focus more on what really, really matters. And that we're, little by little, we're carving away. But the point that I wanted to make, that the big takeaway from our call on Thursday, was that the big thing that we've done differently, the biggest thing is to have the courage to stand up and say, we won't do it the old way anymore because it's dumb. It's just dumb. And we're not doing it. And we will do our very best job to explain why and educate people about a good way to do it, a better way. And then those fraction of people that want to do it the better way that we believe in will come and will follow us, period. That's it. So that's our thing. And that's what we're saying to other business. If you want to be the plumbing supply company who only deals with the people that really want the best possible pipes, then because it's really better for everybody and it's better for the energy or the environment, then be that company. Don't be the generic company that's competing with the 5 other companies in your town. That's it.
Right.